This yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must have.
What?
Look, Dad, it's not mine.
Where did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You alright? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who build dioramas have children who build dioramas.
Kid, is this your
Nah, man, that ain't mine.
Are you making dioramas again?
What are you talking about? Why?
Your mama told you never to do that again.
Closet. Why is she
Don't
always
do
snooping
that.
through my
You hear her?
No,
You.
I learned it from watching you, Yeah, I do dioramas now because you do dioramas. Like father, like son. You want me to start right now? Okay. My name is TechChucker. I'm the host of This Week in Dioramas. It's a weekly show on YouTube where we go through Instagram looking for the coolest looking dioramas and we showcase them right on the show. People that want to be showcased can upload their diorama pictures to Instagram, tag them with the hashtag This Week in Dioramas, and that gives them the best chance of possibly being showcased on the show. The film that I created is a parody of the original 90s, I believe it's 1990s, anti-drug campaign commercials.
I learned it by watching you.
I wanted to make it into a twist on that for dioramas. So the first thing that I needed to do to start this project was I needed to get the original clip, and it took some amazing amounts of skill to be able to go online to YouTube and put in a search to find that original video, and with my skill set I was able to do that in one search. So once I got the original script, it was pretty easy for me, someone who is pretty experienced with script writing. I just went into the original script and I was able to replace the word drugs or drug with dio or dioramas. So really, some people might have struggled with that to begin with. That was something that was pretty second nature for me. Then you can start storyboarding. Again, that's a term that some of you who aren't used to filmmaking might not be aware of, but a storyboard is basically where you a lot of times will draw out the camera angles and the scenes that you're planning on having for your film. The benefit of storyboarding your film is really it allows you, number one, to see it visually, your camera angles and how your story is going to look along with your script. So you're not necessarily recording chronologically. Most people think that films are filmed all in order chronologically. Some people even think that if it's a 1 year story within the film, that it's a 1 year film. That's not how it works in Hollywood. Actually, you are able to play around with time quite a bit, and that's something that I took advantage of a lot. After storyboarding was really finding the actors that were going to play each character. And I was able to cast my characters very quickly, and it was very, very easy. And contrary to popular belief, it was just one actor playing both parts. That actor was actually myself. I'm not a trained actor, but I find that the majority of the best actors are untrained actors. You probably couldn't tell, and that was because of the amazing costume design that we had. The costuming portion of this process took not very much time. I was lucky enough to have a wardrobe that warrants being able to have a costume that looks like an old man and also a frumpy teenager, and so that really lended itself very well to be able to put together an ensemble that did an amazing job of making the actor look as though they are two completely different people. To create the illusion of two separate people, really the key piece was the mustache for the father. We tried out, well, we really didn't have to try out many different options because I was all also a diorama creator myself, and so being able to have that ingenuity and creativity to be able to find something that would work. I found a little black puffball that is in one of our art display bins, and I cut that in half and glued it onto a piece of paper, and it actually looked incredible. It looked like a real mustache. Most people thought that the actor, myself, grew that mustache for this part, but there just wasn't the ability to be able to do that because we needed to be able to have both characters take their shots on the same day, and I'm not able to grow a mustache in one day. Choosing the location and the set was very important to me. I wanted it to look as closely as possible to the original. What I did, I had the opportunity to be able to luckily have access to a very, very difficult to get location, which is my 6-year-old son's room. The stipulation was that it needed to get put back into its original state before he got home. I had to take a quick film of the original setup of the room, making sure that every little toy and nook and cranny and whatnot was put back into place. You'll see certain things that are almost exactly the same as the original. You'll see the telephone, which is on the shelf of both kids' rooms. You'll see that the clock radio is basically in the same position. The bed is positioned pretty much the same as the original bed was positioned. Even the child is sitting in almost the same way, and even the drumsticks, you can see in the original, the child has the drumsticks that he's playing. My actor, myself, is also playing with some drumsticks. The overarching intent, you can see, is pretty much exactly the same. I studied the mannerisms of each of the characters and the dialect. You can see that I used a different dialect for the child versus the father, and you can see that some of the hand gestures are relatively the same, or I would say exactly the same as the original actors. We had to do a split screen to be able to have both actors in the shot, and once your camera is set and you've recorded your first shot, you can no longer touch that camera and move it. So you have to make sure that you set it up in such a way that you're going to have both actors in the correct spots. You're going to have focus correct on each of the actors, and then because we didn't have access to a green screen, those of you not familiar with filmmaking might not be aware of, a green screen is where you have a green screen and then you can mask out the background. Instead, what we did is we masked out one half of the shot, so that when I lay one shot on top of the other shot, it appears through magic and hocus pocus and all of that sort of stuff that the two characters are actually talking together. It just takes a lot of effort that a lot of directors don't necessarily put in. Most films in Hollywood take, months, maybe even years from start to finish, from script writing all the way up to post-production. I would say 2 days is about how long it took to be able to complete that process. Most of the time you'll hear about some of the other Hollywood directors like Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson. It takes them upwards of 25, 30, 50, even 100 takes to get the right shot.
Shot 2.1 kid, take 2, f-stop 5.0.
For us, it took 7 takes for each character, and that's a real testament to my skill set in filmmaking, to be able to be so productive and so efficient with getting my actors, myself, to be able to get just the right cadence, the right delivery of those lines. One of the most important things that I wanted to achieve with this film was accuracy to the original footage. I tried to make sure that when recording the lines, that the characters were, or the actors were, delivering them in the same cadence as the original.
This yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys
Must
must
have
have.
what?
Look, Dad, it's not
Where
mine.
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff? You alright? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who
use
build
drugs
dioramas
have
have children
use
who build
drugs.
dioramas.
I think that we did a pretty darn amazing job getting that as accurate as possible without actually having just copied and pasted what they already did. So what I'd like the public to take from this film is really that if you are interested in dioramas, you can do anything that you put your mind to, just like I have done with my filmmaking career. And if you are looking to get into filmmaking, just understand you're going to need an immense amount of talent to be able to do what I have done. So working in dioramas is probably a better idea for you. But the other thing that I want is to dispel the stigma of if you are a child and your parent works on dioramas. Don't let that bring you down. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If your parent makes dioramas, it's probably something that they really need to do in order to be happy, and I think you should support them by also making dioramas and maybe making them with them. That would be something very special that you as a child could do for your parent. But in the end, what I really would like people to take from this is that I put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I really did it for myself. A lot of filmmakers, they lie and they say that they do their films for the people. I really did this for myself.